It's been about 2.5 months since Dawson fractured his wrist in North Carolina on a bike trip, and I wanted to give an update on how he's doing, as well as show a video of not only the first time he was back on single track, but also the first time he rode his new cross-country bike, which we got right before the trip. And so he's ridden it on some dirt roads, but the video I'll show here is the first time he's actually ridden that on single track. So he did not have to have surgery. Like I said in the other video, since his growth plate was still open, that enabled him to not have to go the surgical route. It's pretty much healed. He says it does get a little sore after about an hour ride. So we did a dirt road ride and then the single track ride, which I'll show in this video. And then today is a Saturday, and we went out and rode a little over an hour on single track again, and he said after that ride it did not hurt at all. So I think he's pretty much healed. Now obviously he hasn't jumped yet. The physical therapist said it'd be about 10 weeks before he could do that, and that's right about now. So he'll probably be back on his jump within the next week or so. Even though he does some pretty big gaps and drops, he's a cautious rider. He calculates things, and he's being extra cautious with his wrist. He wants to make sure it's really back to normal 100% before he jumps, but that's coming up pretty soon. Before I show the video, I want to address one thing that was mentioned a couple times in the comments, and in fact some people were pretty critical about this, and so again I want to address it, and that is the fact that, like I showed in that video of his crash, I rode up and down the mountain while he was walking down. At that point we did not know his wrist was fractured. We thought it was just sprained, and I offered to walk his bike down. He did not want to do that, and we were within half a mile at the most, kind of going up and down the same trail he was walking down, monitoring him. Now, like I said in one of the comments, had it been a head injury, that would have been a whole new ballgame. We would have probably, one of us had his bike and the other one had his arm, because you don't mess around with a head injury. He did not hit his head at all. It was only the wrist. Now, another thing, and by the way, you can't judge someone, especially a father, when you don't know the situation, you don't know what was going on that day. But one thing is, Dawson's 16, so he's probably only a year or two of heading out on his own adventures by himself, which a lot of us do. I do the same thing. I'll go solo rides in the mountains for hours. And so to learn how to self-rescue, get out of the woods. So we were checking on him, but he's kind of doing the self-rescue of walking out of the woods in a safe situation. It was really good training for him for doing that. So again, like I said, you really can't judge someone's actions when you really don't know the situation. For those of you who watch my videos, you'll know that I love and care for Dawson like nothing else. And contrary to what some people thought in that video, I did not go off and do my own ride for a couple hours. I was right nearby, and my wife met us at the parking lot. We all went to the hospital together. So I just wanted to throw that in there in case that came across a little odd in that video. I wanted to explain it. And with that, this is the video of us doing his first ride back on single track in his new cross-country bike. His first manual after being back. Dawson is back on single track. He's already sprinting. This is going to be a challenging ride for Dawson, because I told him not to jump off everything he sees on the trail. So his instructions are to just ride. I think I'm going to be glad I brought my cross-country bike so I can keep up with him. I have a feeling he's going to feel better than he thinks. Already stopping for food. How's it feel, Doss? Wrist feel okay? So Dawson and I had a great time riding that day, and I am super stoked to see him back on the bike. He is just as smooth and fluid as ever on a bike, and I'm excited to see him continue progressing in the disciplines that he wants to do in mountain biking. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching.